Good morning, everyone. This is Karen Hooley, and today is December 8th, and it's our time for our live Team Whooleygan chat. I apologize, I'm an hour later this week. For those of you who are not Catholic, may not know that today is the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, and it's a holy day of obligation for those of us who are Catholic. So I had to go to Mass and, excuse me, guys. I am just getting my first cup of coffee right now. It's 10 a.m. and that's unusual for me. So my throat's really dry. So it was really weird because there was a mix-up with mass times today. The bulletin said 8, and then on social media they said at 8:20, and it ended up being at 8:20. So I rushed home after Mass and barely swallowed a piece of toast and I got on here. So if I'm a little out of sorts, you know why. Anyway, for those of you who are watching for the very first time, whether live or after the fact, if you want to find out more about me, make sure you check out my website at karenhooley.com. There's the link right here below. It is everything that there is to know about me, what I do, my classes, my books, my patterns, and everything. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. My newsletter subscribers get 25% off of all new pattern releases. They get discounts on books and patterns and stuff like that as well. My newsletter subscribers will always get the lowest discounts on everything as a thank you for allowing me into your inbox. So here is a direct link to the subscribe page. So you go ahead and use that. And if you have watched these videos in the past few weeks, there was a little glitch that I didn't know about until I started doing some updating last week, that this page was not working. So it is now working as far as I know right now. Yes, I had a few people test it and then they were able to get it working. So it was a mess up on my part. I should have checked it and I didn't when I did some editing a few weeks ago. So it's working now. So just so you guys know, this is the direct link to subscribe to my newsletter. And just as a little side note, for those of you who might not know this, every year I do a free pattern for my newsletter subscribers. And every year that new pattern launches on January 1st. So if you want 2021's pattern, which is Pache, you want to subscribe now because you have until December 31st to get Pache for free. And then once January 1st hits, Pache will revert to a paid pattern that anybody can get, not just my free, not just the customers who are newsletter subscribers. But hopefully all of my newsletter subscribers have downloaded it already. But January 1st, I have a new pattern I'm very excited about. It will go live at midnight on January 1st on Pacific time. So be watching for that. So if you want to get both patterns for free, subscribe now and you'll get the January 1st one for free as well. Every year, this pattern is brand new. It's not something that's pulled out of my catalog. It's something that's brand new that I designed especially for my newsletter subscribers. And this year's is really, or 2022's is really, really cute, I think. And the photography for it turned out amazing. So I'm very excited to share it with you. So make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already. If you are not watching on YouTube, that means you're either watching on Rumble or you're watching on my website. Check out my YouTube channel. This is a direct link. I have a little pretty link there. That's karenhooley.com/YouTube with the Y and the T capitalized, that you can go directly to my YouTube channel, and make sure you hit the thumbs up as well while you're there. I really want to grow this Team Whooleygan chat. So the more thumbs up I get and the more subscriptions I get, I will see better results in the algorithms and more people will join us in the future. So make sure you do that. If you've never heard of Rumble, you might want to check out my Rumble channel. If you're watching on Rumble, then you know all about this. But for those of you who've never checked out Rumble, this is my Rumble channel. I am hoping that in 2022, I will be able to live stream to Rumble as well. I'm going to be checking into that and what the costs are over the holidays because I'm slowing down for the holidays. And I'm hoping that at least by quarter 2, of 2022, I'll be able to, excuse me, I will be able to subscribe to, or I'll be able to live stream to Rumble. So make sure you check out my Rumble channel. My Rumble channel is actually growing faster than my YouTube channel. So you might want to check it out. And then the last thing I want to tell you is you can follow me on Instagram at Karen Whooley. Yesterday, I did go live in the afternoon and I did a very long video on stories. So you might want to check out my stories. They're going to expire somewhere around 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. on today because they only last for 24 hours. So if you're on Instagram, you might want to check that out later after the show is over. And that'll be Pacific time, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you check that out as well. I see you guys are getting chatty. You guys, I'm assuming that many of you thought I was going live at 9, and I didn't realize last week that this was the week that I was needing to go to Mass in the morning. And I apologize for not letting you know it's going to be an hour late. So I'm going to start from the beginning with all the chat notes. Linda says, Daisy Mae and I are here. She's snoozing in the record ladder and you're washing windows. Yay. I hope you're still here. I'm going to, hopefully when I scroll down, I'll see you. And also, good morning, everyone's having a wonderful day. And then Kelly says, good morning. I don't know if Kelly's still here or not, if she had to go to work. But good morning, Kelly, if you're here, still here. Laura, good morning. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm excited you're here. And then Stephanie in Texas, good morning. Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. And Renee, also, good morning. And how do you get the pache pattern? Do you go through the order process? No. If you are a newsletter subscriber, you should have received the link when you first subscribed. And if you were a newsletter subscriber on January 1st of this year, you should have received the newsletter that gave you the link for it. And then a couple times during the year, I put it in the newsletter. So if you haven't gotten it, let me know, because I know, Renee, that you are a newsletter subscriber. So shoot me an email later or after the show's over, or even if you can do it while the show's going. And I will send you the direct link to be able to download that pattern. It's a special link that you have to go through to get it, because it checks to make sure that the person trying to download it is a subscriber. So that's why I am doing it that way. Teresa says, good morning from Utah. Good morning, Teresa. It's good to see you here. I'm glad you're here. Yay, Kelly's still here. Okay, cool. I'm so glad, guys. I apologize again for not letting you guys know last week that it was going to be an hour late. It just, there's so much going on around here in my household. Just family stuff and, just all getting ready for the holidays. And, I spent the weekend with my daughter this weekend, just going shopping with her up in Spokane, which is 2 hours away. So it's just been this whole, Christmas time it's the most joyous time for me because Christmas is my favorite time of year. But it's also, when it comes to family, it's like, whoo, when January 1st is here. And for those of you who don't know, January 1st is my birthday also. I guess January 2nd really is the day that I can just say, oh, I'm done, at least for a few months. So, but it's, from Thanksgiving on, it's just like nuts in my household. So that is what I'm kind of dealing with right now. Yay. Okay. So I want to show you a couple things that I've finished, or one thing that I finished this week. One thing I've started and I was almost finished and had to rip back. So first thing is, you guys know I'm making Christmas stockings. You saw part of this last week. I did finish David's stocking. There's his little alpaca and snowflakes. I just literally pulled it off the blocking board just before I got on camera. I still have to attach the little ring to hang it with, and then it'll go out with the rest of our stockings. But I'm really excited. I love how the alpaca turned out. Isn't he cute? My husband loves alpacas. So I'm thrilled with how he turned out. Especially since I just found a free little chart online looking for an alpaca. So that was exciting. Just so you guys know too, is I'm using Whooleygan's from Knit Picks or We Crochet, whatever you want to call them. They've taken the Knit Picks logo off the labels, I think, because they're doing, oh, actually they haven't. So see, now it says Knit Picks and We Crochet on the back. But this is, I'm trying to remember, I'm using Lake Ice Heather is the gray. And, oh, here's the blue. Hang on. The blue is Celestial. So those are the two colors I used for his. But this is an affiliate link for a Whooleygan. So if you guys use that link, and it'll also be posted in the show notes. Oh, and I should make a little note to you guys too. If you always go back to my blog to rewatch this, it might be up a little bit later. First of all, because I'm doing this call late, but also I'm not going to be able to upload it to my website until this afternoon because I have to be at a doctor's appointment at noon. So it's one of those days. Anyway, but that link will be on my blog post. It'll be in the show notes below this video on both Rumble and YouTube. So you know what's going on. I see there's a comment, so I want to check. Yay. Okay. Linda's still here. Yay. I'm glad you're still here. Oops. Let me take that off. Okay. So that was my finished project for the week. The project that I was almost finished and I had to rip out is the gradient tote that I'm working on for the crochet-a-long. I got to a certain point in the pattern and realized that I read, it's been a long time since I've done this. And I read a certain part of the pattern wrong. Because I always even though I've had it re-tech edited and I'm going to photograph it and stuff like that. Even though I've had all that done, I always like to redo it when it's an old pattern like this to make sure everything's going right. And I ripped out like 28 rows because I got to a certain point in the pattern and went, oh, no, I did this wrong. The counts are off. And yeah, so, but I have done, this is the bottom of the bag that you're actually looking at the inside of the bag. Here's the outside of the bag. So you'll see that it's worked in a rectangle first to do the bottom. And then, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to try to get it a little closer. Do you see how I worked in the back loop there for one row? That allows us so that when we felt it, we can figure out where the base of the bag is. And if we want to put something in the bottom to make it flat, you can while it's drying. So, that's why I do that. But so I'm back to the original color I was working on. You can see I wound it. Everything else was in cakes. So, yeah, it was, yeah. So the yarn I'm using for this is, so in case you're wondering for the crochet-a-long, I haven't picked the date this afternoon when I get back. I'm going to start looking at my calendars too while I'm getting everything uploaded to the web and to Rumble and all that stuff. I am going to decide on the exact dates, but I'm using Cascade 220. You need 100% superwash wool. I mean, non-superwash wool. Sorry, guys, non. You want it to felt. So I love Cascade 220. I know Kelly had mentioned Plymouth Galway is another one. And actually, now that I think about it, Wool of the Andes is 100% non-superwash. And it felts too. I haven't done a lot with this one felting, but if you've got some of that in the house, you might want that too. You need 660 yards to do this bag. So I'm doing mine in a gradient colorway. I'm starting with a dark green, going to a middle green, and going to a light green. So you can pick what colors you want. If you want it solid, you want to stripe it, whatever, but you need about 660 yards. You're going to have, if you do the Cascade, you are going to have a little bit left over at the end. I think it's like a little ball like this. It's been a long time, like I said. So I will, if I finish it this week, next week, I'll try to show you guys the what I have left over. So it's just so you guys know. I got comments here. Okay. So Laura says, hallelujah, that I'm not the only one who notices issues in Frogs That Roast. It can be disheartening, but no. Laura, my grandmother who taught me to crochet was a perfectionist too. And with crocheting, she ripped everything out and made me do it again. So I will fudge things when it's not going to be something noticeable. And normally in felting, I would fudge things because the felting will just make the stitches disappear. But in this case, it was going to affect the location of the handle. So I couldn't. I had to rip it out. So yeah, that's why. You've already, yay, Cascade. Oh, good. Cascade 220 is what I'm thinking you said, Renee, right? Not 200, because I don't think they're, oh, yeah, you did it underneath. Never mind. Okay, you got it. Cool. So for those of you, I don't know if you guys all got my newsletter yesterday, but I did launch the Pattern Club, and sales are going pretty good. I mean, they're a little slower than I was hoping for, but they are going. Couple things I want to let you guys know. And I'm going to put this in my newsletter because I'm going to do a normal newsletter on Friday, and that's going to be the last newsletter of the year, except, well, actually, yeah. I mean, I might do a Merry Christmas newsletter to my news because I always do that every year. But a newsletter. This is the last one of the year. I'm going to talk about a few things in there. But I realized when I sent the newsletter yesterday, I didn't mention a couple things. So I am going to talk about them now. Hopefully people will see it when they watch this video, but it'll also be in my newsletter, just so you guys know. First of all, let me show you the screen. I'm going to share my screen with you now. I'm going to switch screens myself so that I can actually, oops, let me just do what I was planning to do earlier. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So now I can see your comments and I can see my screen. Now it's going to look a little odd. I'm going to try to make this a little wider so you guys actually see my, okay. So at the top of the screen, what's really nice is my new redesigned website is made for, to be responsive for tablets and things like that. So if you saw just a minute ago, at the top, there was the little 3-line hamburger menu that would have dropped this down right here. But I wanted it wide so you guys could see what it is on the desktop, and I can remember where things are. So first of all, you're probably noticing right here, there's this where I've got old blue jeans right now. That's a menu that, or that's a scrolling thing that, what do they call it? A carousel. Gosh, guys, I mean, literally, this is me without coffee at all talking. So I'm having it scroll through a few things. So there is one there for the Pattern Club as well. But I wanted to show you up here. Here's the Pattern Club slide. But up here, if you join the Pattern Club, it also tells you about, you get your monthly Zoom call and weekly office hours and things like that. But I didn't talk about this founding member thing, and I wanted to let you guys know what exactly that is. Thank you, Laura. I needed that. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Me without coffee. You guys would not believe either that I am an introvert. I mean, literally, I am. So this took a lot of strength to do my first YouTube lives. It takes a lot of strength when I teach classes live or even Zoom calls. I've gotten better at it. I hope you guys think I've gotten better at it, but I am truly the kind of person that if I could stay home in front of the fireplace with a good book or crochet, I'm good. Or a good movie to watch while I'm crocheting. That was what the person I would like to be. But I'm getting better at this. The Italian comes out, in fighting for conversation time. So I kind of lean into that part of me. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the founding member portion of this. Whether you subscribe as a monthly or a yearly person, it doesn't matter which way you go. I mean, I do know that some of you aren't able to afford $99 up front for the whole year. So I've had a few people signing up for $9 a month. And that's also a way for you to test out, because one of the features of this platform is that if you decide it's not for you and you want to cancel the $9, you can cancel it. Now with the $99, it will not refund you the difference. So you probably want to stick it out. And even if you just stick all the patterns in a folder, you're good. But it doesn't matter, $99 a year or the $9 a month. Anybody who subscribes for this first year is going to be considered a founding member. And I have a couple things up my sleeve that you'll get at the end of the year as founding members. It was something I was thinking about doing, and by the time I got all this set up, I didn't have time to do the things I wanted to do for the people who are founding members. So I'm going to remember my mantra this year is going to be slow down and be intentional. So I'm going to follow what everything's saying, what I am going to do, and I am going to slow down. So you'll get it at the end of the year. If you are one of the $9 a month people, if you decide to cancel your membership, you will lose your founding member status. Just so you know. So if you don't make it through the whole year, you won't be considered a founding member. But also what that includes, I want to do something special for you guys, but that also then includes is that when we roll into 2022, or actually what's going to happen is in the middle of the year, I am creating a new kind of a membership portion of my site that is going to include the patterns. Don't get me wrong, it's going to include all of that. But in the middle of the year, I'm going to hopefully launch that. And as you, because you were a founding member and took a chance on me, those of you who might be ABBA fans, Take a Chance on Me is one of their songs. You will get special discounts on the years going forward because you started with me and took a chance on this program. So just so you know, so just be watching for that. But that's one of the biggest things is that if I decide to charge, $199 for the entire big program that I'm going to be doing a year, you'll get some sort of a discount off of that for the yearly portion. You will also be able to, if you decide that the yearly isn't going to work, that you'll get a similar discount for the monthly discounts. So those of you who are founding members, as you purchase your membership for the Pattern Club, you are getting tagged in my system as a founding member, so that you will always have that status until you possibly cancel your program. So I just wanted to let you guys know that is something that I'm going to be doing, and founding members will get little perks along the way. As the big membership portion of my website rolls out, it's going to build every year. And what's going to end up happening is the membership's going to include a lot more than just the patterns. I'm starting small and slow. And it's going to be called something totally cool. I've already bought the domain name, and I have in January, I'm going to be setting up a meeting with a gal who is a graphic artist who's going to do a special logo for me for that. And she's already excited. So when I told her the name, so be watching for that. I mean, it's not going to be Team Whooleygan. Team Whooleygan's a whole separate thing. So I just want to let you guys know that that's what's going on with that. And then also, don't forget that if you have a crocheter that's a friend of yours, let them know about this Pattern Club. Please, just, email them the link. So share it with them on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you are doing social media with your friends. I'm trying to do this word of mouth because I do want to start slow. I would like to start this club with somewhere between 30 and 40 members this year, if we could. I'm not even quite at 10 yet. So if you could share, that would be great. Anybody, your guilds, if you are part of a guild, let them know, that kind of thing. I don't have anything for those of you who have shops, but you can talk to your customers or whatever if you want to. I don't want you to feel like you're obligated, but anything you can do to help me spread the word about this would be great. Because of not having Well, because of the having the cancer and dealing with these treatments, it slows me down on a lot of things. So I wasn't able to get the actual graphics done that I wanted to get. So it's very, very put together this year. Next year, with the graphic artist that I'm working with, I'm hoping she will help me at least get a few little things going so that I can just, use Canva and use a logo and some special graphics that will help with this. So there you go. So I hope that you guys will share that. I hope you guys will join if you haven't already. I'm really excited about this. Yesterday on Instagram, when I did that video that I talked about at the very beginning, make sure you check it out because I did show bits and pieces of some of the shawl. Laura, I just saw that. I can do it. It'll be very basic if that's all right. It'll probably be, I can do a couple color pictures on it, but it'll be very basic if you're interested in that. Did you want like an 8 by 10, or did you want like a half sheet size that you can cut? Like I can have 2 flyers on one sheet and you can just cut them when you print them. Would that work? Because I can do that when I get back from the doctor this morning. So, but anyway, so we still have until January 7th to register. So for those of you who are thinking about giving this as a gift for Christmas, I think I mentioned that, I have, now I lost my train of thought. Then I'm going to cut everything off on the 7th, and then we'll drop the first pattern on the 10th. By the 7th, you will, that's when you can be a founding member. After the 7th, anybody who joins later on, when I launch the bigger part of the membership site, that will be you won't be a founding member anymore. So there you go. The other part of this is that if you want to gift, that's what I was talking about. If you want to gift the program, you can only gift the whole year, because if you do the monthly one, you're only going to be able to gift. I mean, I don't even have it set up that way, but the way the software works, and this is with all of the membership softwares, you can only gift the first month. And then after that, it's up to them to pay for it. So I feel like that's not really what you want to do for a gift on something like this. So that's why we're doing the full year. But those people will also be founding members if they join. If they use the code and join, they will be a founding member. So but the thing about this is that if you purchase the membership, the day you purchase the membership, they will get an email immediately. So if you wanted to save this for Christmas Day, what I would recommend is, make yourself a little card or something that you can give them, and then go on the website that morning, whatever day you're going to give it to them, or do it with them right there in front of them and purchase the membership for them. And they'll get an email right away with the instructions on how to get the membership for free. So that's something to do. Okay. So Laura said a conversation starter 8.5 by 11 would be perfect. Okay, I can do that. So is it okay if I put some color pictures on there so that I'll put a couple pictures of the shawl. I only have the first 5 months photographed. I just contacted the photographer to let her know that the other 7 are ready to go. So hopefully those will be photographed later, or after the new year. So just wanted to mention that. Renee, I could create a post on Instagram, but I only have 13 followers. Yeah, you know what, Renee, even 13 followers is always a good little thing. You can just repost one of mine. If I don't know if you use stories at all, you can repost my stories. You can repost one of my reels that I've done, because I did a reel and a video yesterday. So you can check those and just repost them, and just say, hey, I've joined, or I'm going to join, that kind of thing. That's great. That would be great. I'm going to be posting social media over, I'm not going to try to blast people, especially right now before Christmas, but I'm going to try to do at least twice a week something about the Pattern Club so that it stays in the forefront of the people's minds. So just so you know, Laura Shelton, I frog mistakes all the time. I cannot stand a mistake, even if I'm there. Yep. Okay. And Laura says, yep, pictures are great. And Renee says, I'll repost. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. That's the hardest part about, I could put some Facebook / Instagram ads out there, but I've always had really hit and miss with those. And I really need to learn how to use that kind of stuff. I don't know that I really want to, because like I've told you before, I really have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. I really am more leaning toward the hate side rather than the love side. But I just don't want to throw money at something that's going to be a waste. So I'm relying on my followers, my friends, my customers to help me spread the word, especially if you know anybody who's a crocheter, or if you think this would be a great gift for somebody, that would be awesome, because the more gifts that are given, the more people find out about me as well. So, but that's up to you to do. I mean, I'm just giving you that option. So anyway, let me go ahead and take this off the screen, especially since, where am I at here? Stop sharing. There we go. I'm back. Awesome. So that is kind of what's going on with that. I'm really excited of when I expand it, because with the expansion, I'm going to be offering standalone classes that are going to be kind of like, I hate to say Craftsy, but Craftsy is the only thing that comes to mind where you can purchase a class and it's yours forever, supposedly. I don't know if Crafty's still continuing with that vein or not, but mine will be. I mean, the class will never go away, and it'll probably get updated as new information or new things happen. So, and the people who are part of the club will get discounts on those classes. I'm going to be doing special projects. I'm going to be doing special crochet-alongs that are only for club members. And eventually, I'm hoping to do a virtual weekend type retreat. I'm going to start virtually until things open up and people are wanting to meet live. So I was thinking like doing like a Friday, Saturday, because Sundays are, for me, Sundays are days for the Lord and for family. So I try not to teach on Sundays if I can absolutely help it. So if I do like a Friday, maybe like a Friday, what would be Friday afternoon for me in the East Coast, it might be evening through Saturday night. Just do it virtually. I know Melissa Leitman's been doing educational ones, professional development ones that have been working out well. I know there's a couple other knitting designers who have done it. I haven't seen any crochet designers doing stuff like that yet. But I could be, because I've had my head in the sand for since January with this cancer diagnosis. I haven't really been following the crochet designers as much. So just so you guys know, and it would be something like I'd have a theme, and it could be like a sock weekend. And on Friday, we learn the basics of socks. And on Saturday, we might learn some specialty things about socks, or we could have, multiple different classes where maybe on Friday I do 1 or 2 hour classes on a technique. And then on Saturday, I might do like a 3-hour class in the morning and a 3-hour class in the afternoon on something, different, so those are the kinds of things I'm thinking about. I'm really excited because there's a friend of mine from the West Side that, her daughter and my daughter have been friends since they were in 3-year-old preschool. And she was my co-leader when I was Brownie leader and all that stuff. She just opened a craft retreat house in my old hometown of where I just moved from, not too far from where I used to live, like literally like 5 minutes from the house where I lived. And it will sleep 8 people, including the instructor. So, and I would love to do a live retreat for the first time at her place. So if that's something you guys are ever interested in, once things open up more, let me know. because I told her that I would be her crochet person and go-to person if she wanted crochet classes there. So she's starting with quilting, and she did tell me because she knows I've traveled the country doing stuff like this. So I told her I'm so excited because it gives me a chance to go back home and see, even after I can spend an extra couple days and see my friends that I've left. So anyway, that's something, if you guys are interested too, I'm considering doing. I'm thinking that I'm going to push out till 2023 just because of all the COVID stuff and then my cancer. I can't really go very many places right now with my cancer. The wedding was hard enough on me. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, unless you guys have questions. I'm hoping that in the next day or so, I am going to lay out my stocking because I'm finally at my stocking, guys. Lay it out and start knitting it maybe over the weekend. And then when that's done, then I get to start my sweater. I'm so excited. Oh, I knew there was one other thing I wanted to show you guys. Hang on. I need to show you guys. Let's do this one first. Okay, I need to share my screen again with you. Remember I was telling you that I wanted to do learn things next year. I want to share a quick little, I'm not going to show you the whole pattern. I just bought these patterns though. Let me find it. Window, tab. No. Why is that window not opening? Oh, that's why. Chrome tab. There we go. I'm going to start with learning more about mosaic crochet. So I want to show you a couple patterns that I got. Isn't this awesome? It's a string of lights. But the one I want to show you the most is this page. Check out the variegated yarns. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, that pattern is so cool. I had to show you guys that. It's just because her designs have really influenced the fact that I want to learn more about mosaic crochet. So her name is Sixel. You can find her on, I think that's a screen name, but Sixel you can find her on Instagram, and she does a lot of things like skulls and all that kind of stuff. But her Christmas ones, let me show you another one. Let me see if I can open this one and share it with you guys. I'm going to stop sharing that one, and I'm going to share this one. Hang on, guys. It's very interesting with the software, trying to figure out how to share sometimes. Oh, so look at these snowflakes. I'm going to see if I can get this one. Look at those snowflakes. Aren't those awesome? So what's really cool about her patterns is that she has a lot of, what do you call them? Graphs and stuff in there, but she also has a lot of education in there. And then she has a page on her website that you can actually print as a PDF and save it with her instructions on how she does all the different stitches that she uses for her mosaic crochet. So even though I have done mosaic crochet before, and I have, Lily's chin is still, in my opinion, the preeminent person to talk to. In fact, she's doing, if you are interested in stitches at all, for stitches at home, she's doing a class on a mosaic crocheted top-down sweater. And if it wasn't at a time that I can't go take the class, I would be totally there for that. So just so you know, Lily Chen's doing that. But I wanted to learn from just scrolling through that page. It's very similar to what Lily teaches. It's just she's got little bits of different terminology. So I'm going to be using those patterns. There's a third one I bought that's trees. It's like winter scene trees. And I think that's the one I'm going to start with, is the trees. And I'm going to use that on my blog and on my newsletter and things like that, because I'm going to be, okay, so guys, this is going to be a first for you guys as well. Even though I haven't announced this yet, I'll announce this Friday in my newsletter, but I'm going to let you guys know this. My newsletter is switching from Fridays to Tuesdays because I'm finding that if I do them on Fridays, I have a really hard time getting everything done. And then people tell me as soon as I get it scheduled, they have a link for me or something like that. And then I can't get it in the newsletter. So what I'm doing is I'm changing it to Tuesdays. But I'm also going to try to do them every single week on Tuesdays. So if it's a week that I'm releasing a pattern, that newsletter will be devoted to just the pattern. But if it's an off week where I'm talking, it's just a normal week, it'll always have an educational section. So what I'm going to do, like I'm going to start with this mosaic crochet, and I'm going to, work with her patterns. I'm going to do some stuff over the holiday. And then the first newsletter that'll go out on January 4th will have me introducing that I'm starting to learn this relearn this technique, and I'm using her stuff, and I'll have links to her stuff. And then I'll be sharing, what tips and tricks that I learned in that newsletter. And for that whole month, it'll be all about mosaic crochet. And then when the newsletters subscribers have gotten all of those, then I'll start posting those weekly to my website on my blog. So you guys will get the education first, and then it'll go onto my blog for those people who don't get them right away or aren't subscribed to my newsletter. And I'm going to try, what I think I'm going to do is every single month, I am going to do a different technique. And if I have to spill into another month before I go on to a new technique, I'll do that as well. So yes. Okay. So here we go. Linda says, when does a crochet along begin for the felted bag? Where do I get the pattern? I haven't announced that yet. It will be in my newsletter because I don't know the exact date yet. The pattern, I'll send you guys the pattern as soon as it's done if you register for the crochet along. That's all I'm going to say right now, because the pattern is not done. It's getting there. I have to get the bag done. I'm hoping by this weekend it will be done so that I can video the felting process in a front load machine. And because I have the written directions for the top load, but I have a front load and it's a little bit different. So I want to video that. And then I have to put the pattern together, and I have to get pictures taken of the bag for the pattern. So as soon as that is ready to go, then the pattern will be released to anybody who pre-registers. So I'm hoping that I'll get the bag done to the point of where I can get some photos on Monday, and then I can start promoting that as well. Just so you guys know. Kelly says, ooh, sounds interesting and fun. So I'm assuming that because I think that popped up when I was talking about doing retreats and things like that. And Fridays work for me. Yeah, so that must have been when I was talking about stuff. And Renee said nice, and I'm not sure what that nice was for, but I'm assuming it's the same thing. Teresa, I love that. So hopefully you guys were talking about the retreats and the things for the membership club and things like that. Or maybe it was the mosaic crochet too, because the next one was, those lights look really cool in the variegated, don't they? I really want to do those. I want to do a pillow or something for next year, or even a blanket. I just absolutely love that pattern in a variegated yarn. Love the lights and the snowflakes. Yeah, me too. And Kelly says yes, and I don't know what you said yes for, so remind me. The retreat. Okay. I discovered a local yarn shop not too far from where I live. I can get yarn there. Yay, good. Yay, that's awesome, Linda. I'm so glad. Is that a new shop, or is it just a one that you newly discovered? Retreat. Okay, yes, Kelly, I'm really excited about doing a virtual retreat. So virtual retreats will probably start sometime next year. I'm thinking maybe fall, just because I need to get some other things done first. So I've already committed to doing 3 new patterns next year, 2 for yarn dyers and 1 for our local local, what do you call it? Yarn shop tour. So I need to get those things done before I start doing retreats and stuff like that. So I'm thinking fall. It might be like a September weekend or something that I do a little mini retreat kind of thing. And okay. Teresa said that it was the lights. I love those lights. I am so excited. I'm not going to use necessarily information with pictures of the patterns, because I don't want to infringe on her copyright. That's the thing, is that her copyright's her copyright. And so I'm not going to teach about her patterns, but I'm going to teach about her technique. So I'll probably find some mosaic patterns that I can show in the blog and in the, what do you call it? Newsletters. Jeez, more coffee, guys, more coffee. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably show what I'm working on, but I won't talk about what I'm doing in that one. I may use something else that I can find or create my own, maybe. It's been a couple of years, but I discovered it by accident. Oh, cool. But loaded with beautiful line. Oh, that's awesome. It's always nice when you can find a local yarn shop like that. I'm grateful that I have a local yarn shop here, Sheep's Clothing, because it's the only yarn shop in a I can't remember, it's the 150, 200 mile radius in this part of the state. Walla Walla does have one, but she's not open all the time. She caters to the tourists mostly. So her hours are really weird hours. Like my husband and I went to Walla Walla when we first moved out here, and she was not open that whole weekend. So I am going to have to investigate her in the spring, because now it's kind of getting to the snow season and I don't know what the roads are like there, but yeah. Oh, it's hidden in the corner of a tiny strip mall. That's the way the yarn shop that I go to now here is in a strip mall as well. It's in between a Verizon and the Washington State Department of Licensing. I mean, if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know it was there. Yay for LYS. Yes, I think LYSs are important. And in fact, one of the things I'd like to do when I start teaching at that retreat center that I was telling my friend did, is get some of my local dyers and maybe the local yarn shop in the area to see if they'd be willing to do like a little pop-up in the house. So that's something I'd like to do too. Anyway, that's it for me. I know it seems like I've been talking forever, and I didn't think I was going to have that much to say, but I wanted to just touch base with you guys, even though I knew I was going to be late and I knew I had to go to the doctor. Say a little prayer for me. I'm going to see an orthopedic surgeon because in 1994, before I even had kids, and I was working full-time for a computer company, I lifted a 65-pound computer and did something to my rotator cuff. And after months of physical therapy and at least 2 cortisone shots that I can remember back then, in 1995, I was supposed to have surgery, December 1995. And they were supposed to remove some burrs from the bone, and then they were going to do something with the rotator cuff. I don't even remember. It's been that long, what exactly they were going to do. And then, you go to the doctor and you have your blood work done. And the doctor calls me the night before the surgery and he's like, we have a problem. And I'm like, we do? And what's the problem? And he says, you're pregnant. And the cool thing is my husband and I have been married for 6 years at this point, and we've been trying to have kids. We had 1 miscarriage already. And we had given up because my shoulder, we knew that I was going to end up having surgery. So we said, we're going to stop right now and not do anything and have the surgery done. And then we'll figure it out. Well, that was my son. So the cool thing about being pregnant, for those of you who have ever had kids, know that pregnancy adds lubrication to all your joints. So my shoulder stopped hurting. I could move my shoulder. I mean, I can still get it up over my head, but I'm starting to feel the issues again. Actually, in 2019, my doctor actually sent me to physical therapy for the shoulder. for several months, and it wasn't doing anything. And then finally sent me to the orthopedic surgeon over there before we moved here. And she was going to talk to me about surgery because I not only, on top of having a torn rotator cuff and a couple other tears in there, I also had bursitis. So we were going to talk about the procedures, and then we found out we were moving. So literally a month before we moved, she gave me a cortisone injection. And then just in the last like 2 or 3 months, I started having pain again. And it's not so bad in my arm, but right here on the collarbone, I get these throbbing pains. And that's part of the bursitis and something, whatever the other ligament that I cannot remember right now that's torn does. In fact, when I touch it, I just noticed it's starting to hurt now. It's just starting to hurt again. So I finally told the doctor, I said, I need to see somebody. I said, I don't want to have surgery right now, but I need to find something to help with it. I said, I just need to get through this cancer treatment before I start thinking about surgeries. So I'm going to see the doctor, and I printed out all of my reports from the West Side. I don't have any of the MRIs or x-rays, but at least I got the reports from them. So, but thank you, Linda, for the prayers. I saw that you just popped that in there. And Linda also said, I was out with breakfast for a friend and told her about the store. I looked up the address and still couldn't find it. I called and she told me where it was, and all I had to do was cross the street. That's so me. Linda, you and I could be sisters. Oh my gosh, I do that all the time. So that's awesome. You just made me laugh. So anyway, so if you're inclined to say prayers, just say a little prayer for me that we can deal with this shoulder. I mean, it doesn't bother me when I'm crocheting unless it's really been agitated. So like, if I do, like when we were moving before she gave me the cortisone shot, packing a box would irritate it. And then I would sit and crochet and it would hurt even worse. But if it's just me not irritating it, then crochet or knitting is fine. Just so you guys know. So that's where I'm going after, as soon as I hang this call up, and that's pretty much it. So does anybody have any questions for me? I'm trying to think. Next week, everything should be back to normal. So I'm just trying to think. I'm hoping that next week you'll get to see my stocking, and maybe part of my sweater started. So I'm really excited to actually do something for me. The other thing is I promised, one of the gifts I gave my daughter at one of her showers was a crochet blanket. And so I'm searching for the yarn. We talked about it this weekend. And so she kind of told me the colors she wants and what I'm thinking about. So I'm looking for the yarn so that I can actually make that. And I'm hoping to get that to them at Christmas, but that might not happen either. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, and Linda says we are probably sisters somewhere in the Italian line. There you go. There's got to be, because Italian seems like we're all the same in some ways. I mean, there's very different differences in different areas of Italy, but it seems like the way we think and we do things, there's a lot of commonality there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my closing. If you guys have any questions or comments that you want to add before I go, I'll check back in just a second. But let me go ahead and do my closing. Thanks for watching this far. And I appreciate everybody being here. And so I just want to remind everybody, if you want to know more about me, make sure you check out my website at KarenWhooley.com. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. Here's a direct link. Don't forget, you can still get the 2021 pattern for free right now if you subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber and for some reason didn't get Pache, let me know. Renee, make sure you let me know and I'll get it to you. But if you want it now and aren't a subscriber, make sure you use this link and subscribe now, because you'll not only get Pache now, but you'll also get on January 1st, the new pattern. So make sure you check that out while you're there. If you're not watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. This is a special link to my YouTube channel. I always live stream usually at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays. Today was an exception, but make sure you check that out. If you're not watching on Rumble, you might also want to check out my Rumble channel, which is growing faster than my YouTube channel. there's the link to the Rumble channel. Rumble, eventually, I hope to live stream there, but right now I just upload after the fact. And if you are on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I try to get on there daily. It's not always a sure thing, but I can tell you I did get on there and do a video, a long story about the pattern club. So make sure you check that out as well. I'm going to head back to the comments here really quick. Linda says, I'm enjoying my Advent box. Everything is so beautiful, and I will be making your shawl pattern. I'm so excited. Thank you. I'm not going to show the pattern until January unless Becky at Chaos Fibers is going to show it, because I want it to be a surprise. She had me send black and white copy of the pattern to her so that people who didn't want to be spoiled could or didn't want to have it spoiled for them color wise, they could see it in black and white and then open the pattern at the end. But once the month is over, I'll probably share it in January what it looks like, and that won't be released by me until November. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, there are some gorgeous colors in that kit, so very excited. Anyway, that's it for me. So I'm going to head out now. If you guys are still here watching, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Those of you watching after the fact, I appreciate that you have gone all the way through this video, especially with me with a very limited coffee in my system. But I hope you have a great week. You get a lot of time to crochet this week. And I will see you next week at my normal time at 9 a.m. Pacific here on YouTube, and then uploaded to Rumble immediately afterwards. Bye, y'all. Have a great rest of your week.